This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been, and this is a film about a place where everyone in Tokyo has gone hiking. Mount Takao is a mountain in Hachioji City, Tokyo Prefecture in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Keio Line. The first time I went here was... The first time I ever went here, it was probably my first 6 months in Japan. I wanted to do some hiking. In Tokyo, from the month of November until March, there's almost no precipitation. I'm not saying it never rains, but it almost never rains. It's basically sunny for 5 months of the year, all through the winter. Flurries are more common in March or April, and some years you'll get a blizzard in January, but for the most part, it's a great time to go hiking. You get these bright, sunny days where the temperature hits anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. And Mount Takao is a good entry point into hiking in Japan for pretty much everyone. It's a nice, easy climb, and it's convenient to get to from anywhere in Tokyo. You take the Keio Line from Shinjuku, getting off at Takaosanguchi station, and you'll find yourself in a mountain village right at the edge of Tokyo. It's got quaint little bridges and houses and stores where you can buy overpriced souvenirs. The thing about Mount Takao is that everybody in Tokyo has been there, at least once, on a school trip or family picnic. You see people in full all-weather survival gear with walking sticks and tents, keeping pace behind women in high heels. There are many different routes up the mountain, but to the halfway point, you don't need to do any hiking. There's a cable car and a chairlift. Never take the chairlift, unless you're a child. It's like a miniaturized ski lift, but the seat is super narrow, and there is no rest for your feet. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, my legs just dangled below, and I could only fit half my ass onto the seat. It was that small. And the ride was absolute torture for 15 minutes. So always take the cable car. When you get to the top cable car station, halfway up the mountain, you'll be treated to a spectacular view of western Tokyo. And there's a beer garden with all you can eat and drink for $30 a person. My advice? Save it for the trip down. どうですか? From there, you can hike to the top of the mountain. While there are several different ways, the main route is a pretty moderate hike. At the top, you'll find soba restaurants and souvenir shops. Despite being several thousand feet up, this is a very busy mountain. And being so close to the ocean, it's usually not shut down by harsh winter weather. The reason it's so dry is because mountains in the center of Honshu Island block moisture from reaching the Pacific coast. どうですか? As cold wind blows down from Siberia, it picks up moisture traveling over the Sea of Japan. And when the wind hits the Japanese Alps, the moisture is dropped as snow over the Sea of Japan coastline. The effects are dramatic. In some northwestern Japanese cities, it literally never stops snowing in winter. And snow can pile up 3 or 4 stories tall in some places. But then, the cool dry air continues over the central mountains, and that's what continues to Mount Takao in the Tokyo area. In fact, most people who live in these areas own humidifiers because the winter air is so awful on the skin. And Mount Takao is just one place on a network of hiking trails that have existed for thousands of years. You need to be careful because the trail running around the back of the Takao soba shop can go for hundreds of kilometers. You don't want to be caught in the woods without proper clothing and a flashlight in the middle of the night. And you may even pass Japanese hikers who've been traveling for days, camping, going from mountain to mountain. It's not an uncommon experience. Why? Because every 20 or 30 kilometers there are mountain lodges where you can get food, beer, and accommodation. So many people hike in Japan, it's a viable business, even in the middle of nowhere. Even so, it's always a good idea to keep a flashlight on you. There are no lights on the mountain, and you don't want to trip. The drop-off on some of these paths is a long way down, so be careful. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll probably want to start in Tokyo from Shinjuku Station, since it's the busiest train station in the world. Take the Keio Line Special Express in the Takao direction to Takaosanguchi Station. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is どうですか? It means how is it in Japanese, as in soup, どうですか? How is the soup? So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me, or at least that's what I do. Next time. So that's it until next time when we visit the moat of the Imperial Palace. So until then, sayonara.